Hello guys, it's May 1st, 2017. I know I haven't done many videos recently, especially April. If you've seen the last one, I don't do Aprils, but it's May now. Roll titles, because I want to talk about what I would like to do for the next 31 days. Let's go. So, recently I've been questioning pretty much everything. Why do I feel the way I do so often? Like when I'm at home, when I'm out and about, which is very rare, but if I'm in the car, like nipping my missus to work or whatever. So, like I've been questioning, do I just have anxiety constantly? It doesn't matter what I'm doing. But then I've sort of come to the conclusion that maybe it's more than anxiety. Maybe it's a bit of boredom. Maybe there's a bit of depression in there because I just don't do anything. So I've really struggled to do work recently. Um, I've just not been able to concentrate, not been able to get motivated and want to work. Like, I don't mind sitting at the computer so much at the minute. I've been working on my own projects and stuff like that. I'm working on a particular new business idea that I've got, so that's something that I'm sort of bringing to fruition. But the fact remains that I just don't get out the house often enough. So, for 31 days, for the month of May, my plan is to do sort of a, I don't know whether to do it as like a roulette sort of thing where I put 31 things in a hat, pick one out each day and go and do it. The problem with that is that I would probably imagine that there'll be a mix of some that are going to be a bit more difficult than others. Like I'm not making a game of this because the idea is like there will be progress at the end of it. But what I'm thinking is like in the past when I've done exposure therapy and stuff, I've done the same thing over and over again, and it gets repetitive, monotonous, and you lose motivation, and it's difficult to focus on anything other than the task in hand. So, for example, walking to the post box, and I'm going to get to the bigger picture of this, but this is my experience of exposure therapy. So for when I first did it, walking to the post box, I did it over and over again, and that I lost the focus, or there was nothing to really focus on other than getting to the post box. And then I got bored with doing that. I didn't just get bored with walking to the post box. I got bored of the thought of doing it. So the idea behind this is to have different tasks, maybe like just walk in one direction for 3 minutes and then head back. Like walk until you see 3 cats on the street, wherever. Walk until you buy something, a Mars bar from a shop. I don't endorse the use of Mars bars. But you get the idea. It's like have a set goal and just don't have a time limit on it. So it's like not, although I've just said like walk for 3 minutes, but just like walk until you see 3 red Peugeots. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like it gives you a goal, but you don't know how far you've got to go to get to it. You could walk out the door and there's 3 freaking Peugeots lined up there, red. Great. But that doesn't matter. And it's like you don't know how long you're going to be out. You can't anticipate, oh, I've got to go 3 miles in a southeasterly direction. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it gives you something to focus on when you're out because you're going to be looking for 3 cats. There's one. Walk around the corner, there's another. And then you'll be walking around, you'll be looking, you'll be paying attention, mindful of your surroundings. That's the idea. It's to try and go out and do things that are different, that aren't sort of set in stone duration and distance. That's the idea. And I intend to try and do it for 31 days, for the month of May, for the whole freaking month of May. I don't know whether I'll be able to. I said in the past, like, I started a diary, video diary. I think it was 2 years ago, it might have been. Like, on January the 1st, I started it. And I did it for, like, the first week, and then just life got in the way, I guess. Maybe I just didn't feel like doing it, or I ran out of things to say. But the idea behind this is, even if it's just like a 2 minute video, this is what I'm doing today. The next question that I've got is, like, do I pull things out of a hat? I was thinking maybe breaking it up into weeks. So like do 7 days of things, simpler things. Like I don't know. I haven't even really thought about what I can do. Walk out, find 2 blue BMWs. That would be a simpler thing, I think, because I've got one. So there's half the freaking battle. But you know what I mean. Keep it simple to start with, and then sort of gradually build up. But what I don't want to do is have like a major challenge on the 31st of May. I don't want to have to climb the Eiffel Tower and stuff like that, because then you've got that picture in your mind. It's like, oh, we're heading towards that, and nothing's really going to affect me that much, because I know that ultimately that's the big prize at the end of the month. So what I want to do is just try and completely randomise the stuff and just see the bigger picture progress at the end of May. So I'm not heading towards a goal, I'm heading towards just making progress, expanding my comfort zone, I guess. Because although I've not been too bad driving, like I can drive to the towns that are local and drive through my town, piece of cake, that's not an issue. But driving like my missus to work, picking her up from work, it's about 10 miles, and it takes, I don't know, you're probably out of the house for about 45 minutes to an hour, possibly, depending on traffic and stuff. That's another thing. It's like main roads, dual carriageway, sitting at freaking traffic lights and crossing a motorway. So although these roads don't bother me generally, I'm not nervous of motorways and stuff like that and dual carriageways at all. It's just the fact that I'm travelling distances away from home. So I've done 7 minutes already on this video, and that wasn't the intention. I was trying to do this quickly because I'm going to include today's thing, whatever it is, I don't know, but I'll cut now. I'll let you know how I decide on what I'm going to do for the next few days maybe, and we'll go from there. So a few things that I thought I could do perhaps in these early stages, the first few days of May. Maybe like, because I don't really know the local area, although I obviously know where I freaking live, but I don't know what's within sort of walking distance as to which direction to even go in. So I'm thinking like maybe find the nearest bus stop, because I have no idea where the nearest bus stop is. I know there's a bus station in the town. I'm assuming there's a bus stop nearer, hopeful. There will be somewhere. Also, like the nearest post box, I'm not entirely sure. I think I know where it is. But that's another one. So there's two things that I've already thought, and they may sound really trivial, but obviously maybe you want to do this. I was going to say play along, but it's not a freaking game. This is real, but it's also, to get rewards you have to put yourself out there, and I'm obviously going to try and do that every day. I've got to push myself, whether it's small bits, whether it's like, just standing out front of the house for 5 minutes. That's gonna be a challenge. Like my dad, when he comes down, he parks sometimes, I don't know, about 50 yards down the road because there's not a space out front of the house. And like if I go out when he goes, I'll like go and walk into his car, maybe I'll help him carry a bag or something. And like walking back from his car to the house, that's enough sometimes to make me feel disorientated and vulnerable, because I'm out on the streets, out in the open. I'm not within these four walls, which is I spend 90% of my time. So those are just sort of the things that I'm thinking of doing, like find the nearest post box. So it's not a case of walk to the nearest post box, which it is, but I don't know where it is. So it's like finding it as well. So I've got to use my brain, I've got to use my eyes to look for these landmarks or items or whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm trying to, it's almost like a game, isn't it? It's almost like I'm trying to give myself some kind of visual keys, some targets that I need to find. That's the plan. I don't know whether it'll freaking work, whether I'll feel any better, but the fact that I'm contemplating getting out of the house to even do this, and like it's the 1st of May today, and I want to do this every day in May. So join me, man. Put some freaking videos on. If you're struggling, if you're housebound or whatever it is, if you're struggling to go to a supermarket or whatever stage you're at, if you're suffering with anxiety, maybe it's a social thing, or maybe it's agoraphobia, which is pretty much where I am, or if it's health anxiety, just try small steps, whatever it is that you need to do. Maybe just go along with me and see, man. Maybe that will inspire me to do more. I don't know. I intend to try and do this every day. So this is day 1 of my 31-day challenge, but I'm going to call it the May challenge, I think. I don't know. It would have sounded so much better if it was the 30-day challenge. But there's 31 freaking days in May, so we'll get cracking right away. Let's go, I don't know. Let's hit it up. It's Monday. Bank holiday Monday. Let's hit the road.
Where are you going?
Just over there, we're just going to try. So it's May 1st, day 1. Sun's out, guns out. Neighbours probably think I'm insane. I'm out with my wife, who is assisting me on day 1. I very rarely walk from home, do I?
No. It was my idea, just.
It was. I was sitting there procrastinating.
And I just said, come on, get your shoes on.
I really wanted to do it, but it's just taking them first steps. It's difficult, man. Very. I suppose it helps if you have a support person. Well, it does, definitely. Because I probably wouldn't have just come out. Apologies for the wind. So I'm supposed to give myself a target sort of thing. So I don't know. We should walk until we see something.
Dandelion.
A dandelion. Got one. There's hundreds. We're in a field. Well, it's not really a field, it's just a patch of grass. It's quite near to my house. But it's not in my house. And that's the positive part. Dog. It's like a Blair Witch. A Blair Witch thing here, look. Lacey, what have you found? Indian burial ground. I'm trying to divert my attention from the reason that I'm here. It's raining.
Oh no.
It's raining. Her hair. Her hair's gonna get off.
Anyway.
Her hair's gonna get frizzy.
Come on.
Shit. Quick, Lace. It's raining. It's spitting.
Everybody in.
Everybody in. It's spitting. I should have brought me cagoule.
I've got one.
You got a cagoule. I need to get a pack-a-mac for these expeditions, don't I?
You just go out walking in the hills somewhere.
Fucking hills. Just about managed the stairs. I'm just going to walk home and put the camera down so I can focus on being out and not focus on the camera. So I shall conclude when I get home. So I'm home. We was out 5 minutes, which is nothing major, but it's more than I've been out for a long time. And it is a long time, although obviously I've been out in the car now and again, but nothing walking on foot from home. It was nice, but if it weren't for my wife saying, get your shoes on, we're going out, I don't think I would have. I'd still be sitting there now, thinking, mulling it over, trying to summon up the courage to go and do it. So having a support person, like I just said, essential for this first step. Day 1. I'm going to say done, because that's more than I anticipated doing. I only thought of doing this morning. I was lying in bed this morning and I thought, new month, fresh start. I've had a real shitty April. I've had fucking headaches, sorry for swearing, felt like crap. I feel a bit more positive at the moment. I'm feeling a bit motivated. May 1st, day 1 done. Let's do tomorrow, man. Let's try and keep this up. I will try and keep this up every day this month. The videos might be crap, they might be short, but they'll be on. Let's do it.